the Bristol Flyers podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the Bristol Flyers podcast. We are powered by Matchday Live. I'm Joel Osborne, and he is Sam Hardy. Sam, how are you, sir?
Bonjour, very good. I am. In fact, I should have learned how to say hello in Dutch. Is that where you've just been? Where have you been? Holland?
Oh, I went to Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. How do you say hello?
I don't know.
Hi.
Hello?
Hello. Maybe that's right. Who knows?
Yeah, of course. I've just been away. Steve Devereaux Stag Part 2 at the weekend.
Did you have a room of 19 men all sharing a room together, which is what it was like on his other stag do?
No, it was not that. For the context for the listener, Steve Devereaux works in the commercial team at Bristol Flyers. Steve Devereaux decided to have two stag do's. The first, Sam and I went to, it was in Liverpool, and we stayed in the room full of 19 other men.
That we knew. We knew all of them.
Yeah,
they weren't randomers.
This time round, we spent 2 different nights, 2 different places. They're like hostels, basically.
Was that right?
Yeah, it was great. I'll tell you what, the highlight of the weekend, went to go watch Willem 2 away at Ajax.
Well, now, if for the listener who doesn't really follow all of the sports we do here, Willem 2 actually came in a pre-season game and played against Bristol City. There's a good connection between the two clubs, isn't there?
I had no idea where the connection comes from, but they are absolutely loving the Bristol City fans. But we got the supporters bus up. They were giving us free tins on the way up, free tins of fresh water.
Beans?
Yeah, tins of fresh water, mate, actually.
Ooh, lovely.
They were giving us free tinnies of fresh water. And the stadium was fantastic. The Amsterdam Arena, Johan Cruyff.
I watched it. Oh, Cruyff, the Cruyff turn.
Yeah.
I watched a few of your I've watched a few of your stories. I think you had an early sort of like experience of what this week's ENBL Flyers game were like with the fans job, because they were going crazy, weren't they?
That was an experience. I was going to say, it was quite scary at times. Halloween's today, not yesterday. And their fans were a little bit scary.
They were a little scary, although it was good for the sport, I think. It was a bit of fun. Yeah.
Any trick-or-treating for you tonight, mate? It's Halloween, of course.
Well, obviously, it's the last Thursday of the month, which means one thing, Jolie.
It's the Halloween comedy chest.
It certainly is. I'm dressing up. I'm dressing up in. Do you remember last year at Halloween for the Flyers? I wore my chicken suit.
Yeah,
I'm wearing
of
that
course.
tonight.
Are you wearing it
yeah,
tonight?
Yeah.
Great, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad I can't make that.
Why can't you make it? What are you doing?
Well, I think it's still available.
Well, for you, Joel, everything's available.
Okay, let's talk offline.
That sounded weird. Anyway, I didn't mean like anything other than you can have tickets. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. But you talk about the Polish fans, by the way. I don't know if you watched the broadcast back yesterday. There's a great shot of you walking through the Polish fans, looking straight at the camera like, what on earth is going on? What on earth is going on here?
I was walking back through them, and I was walking back to where I was standing, and I was genuinely like, I saw the camera, and I didn't think that's live, like on TV right now, or not TV, DAZN, whatever. I was just like, oh, there's a camera just capturing some footage of the fans. That's fun. Did the thing, and I went, oh, wait, that's going to be live. Yeah, cool.
Well, we are, of course, 24 hours removed from because we're recording this podcast on a Thursday for the listeners. So we're 24 hours removed from that game against Legia Warsaw in the European North Basketball League. We'll get on to that later on in this week's show. No producer Dan for us this week. We've got no producer Freddie either, because they're both away. But we have got a very new producer to the Bristol Flyers podcast, and that is producer Jesse.
Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. I know everyone will be disappointed not to hear Dan and Freddie on here, so you got the third choice.
No, Jesse, you're
Jesse's the
great.
best of the lot. What are you on about? He's better than producer Dan.
Wow, Joel. That was brutal.
Don't tell him I said that, and see if he listens to the podcast, shall we?
He won't listen. I
Nah,
know. Later on in the episode, we mentioned, because we've recorded the intro after the main segment again. We've done that a few times now. But
Time travelers, you.
We mentioned producer Dan has to do something, and he won't have listened to it, will he?
Probably not. He has to make notes for something.
I think it's a scoreboard.
Yeah,
for the,
it is. Yeah. But I tell you what, Jesse, it was a busy night for you last night, because you were running the video review, weren't you, for Bramvox for our ENBL game?
I was. I think there was sort of 3 or 4 referee reviews in there. What was it? Third quarter took 35 minutes. I think that was all thanks to me.
Yeah,
So
a 35
no problem,
minute.
everyone.
Yeah. So talk us through what you're actually doing there, because you're sat in the truck, aren't you? And you've got the headset on. The referees come over, they put it on, and are they telling you what they want to see, and you're showing them all different angles of it, right?
Yeah, basically they're asking me, what camera they want to see it from, whether sort of players blocking that camera angle or whatever, and then I'm sort of rolling it back and forth so that they can see. So one of them was a shot clock violation, so they can see exactly when the ball leaves the hand and whether it's whether it's a legitimate basket or not.
I'll tell you what, that third quarter went on for so long on the broadcast that Gareth Till had to get up and go for a wee-wee during the game, and they left me solo on commentary because it lasted so long.
Why did you call it a wee-wee?
Is that not what it's called?
No, yeah, fine, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, that is the biological correct term for it.
What would you call it?
A wee. Just the one wee, actually, Joel.
Okay, well, tomato, tomato.
Tomato, tomato.
Whatever you want to call it. But Jesse, it's great to have you with us on the temporary basis, filling in. We've got another special guest in the studio watching this segment of the podcast because the famous Helen Hardy, your wife, is in the house, Sam.
She is going to hate you for mentioning that at all, Joel.
Eric Lockett's #1 fan.
You're so mean.
But it's great to have you with us. Hello, Helen. Welcome to the podcast studio. You've not got a mic, but she's waving. Coming up on this week's show, we've got Kendall Lewis joining us in the studio for a chat. We've got the return of Wrong Answers Only. Plus, we'll be rounding up all the action, including 2 games, the overtime game against Leicester Riders, plus last night's Legia Warsaw game in the ENBL. But before we get to this week's interview with Kendall Lewis, quick reminder, if you're enjoying the Bristol Flyers podcast, please give us a rating and a review on your usual podcast provider. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. All those podcasty things that podcast hosts tell you to do, please, please, please go do them. Shall we get to this week's interview then, Sam?
Let's do it.
So without further ado, here is our chat with Bristol Flyers' newest star, Kendall Lewis.
This is the Bristol Flyers podcast.
Hi, welcome back to the Bristol Flyers podcast, powered by Matchday Live, and we are very pleased to be joined in studio by one of our brand new signings for the 24-25 season, Kendall Lewis in the house. Crikey, that was loud, Sam.
Sorry.
That was loud in my headphones.
It was worth it.
Sorry for the podcast listener on that one.
Well, it was a big introduction, Joel. We had
was
to
a
make
big-
it loud.
It is. We've got one of our big stars in the house. Kendall, how's it going?
It's great. It's great. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, we appreciate you coming down. Day off for you guys today, isn't it? Right?
yeah.
Because last night we are, well, I want to say, just under 24 hours removed from the game that was Legia Warsaw last night. How are you guys feeling today?
It was definitely a war, and we definitely feel it. My knees are hurting. Some of the guys banged up, but we just got to collect from that and get to the Sunday game.
Yeah.
It was a war, and now he's sore. Warsaw. Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bars.
I'm tired. I'm tired myself, and I didn't even play out there, so I can't imagine how you guys are feeling today.
Day, it's a day off, and you come on in to talk to us and talk to the listeners. We're very happy to have you, mate, because I suppose days off are coming few and far between at the moment. Is that right?
Yeah, they definitely are, but I'd much rather be here than laying in the bed right now.
No, well, we appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Absolutely.
How are you enjoying your time in Bristol so far? Talk to us.
It's amazing. Everything's good. Everybody's taking me in, just teaching me things. I'm learning new things. My biggest thing, I always say it, but driving on the other side of the road is different, and I'm still getting used to it. And the traffic circles, I'm still getting used to it.
Well, you made it down safely today.
I did.
All right.
I did.
No issues so far on the roads?
No, not me. I won't talk about other people, but I've been good.
You're very lucky as well, because our partner who give us our cars, they make sure you all have automatic, whereas we normally drive stick over here. So it's,
that's a blessing.
it's good of them, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is.
exactly.
Shout out to Drive.
Talk to us about your time in Bristol so far then. Has it been everything you've expected so far?
Oh yeah, I didn't really even know what to expect, but coming in here and just like having new foods, new just interactions with people, and just how things work, like saying like the smallest things, like takeaway instead of to go. Like I say to go and they'll get confused, and I mean takeaway. It's just things like little things like that I got to get used to, and like the trash and recycling, how I got to split it up. It took a minute to get used to.
Do you not do that in the States?
No, just either trash or recycle, like plastics and cardboards and trash. It's two different things.
I went to Switzerland last year or this year, and they take it to another level where it's not just that they split up all the different things. They have different bins for all the different types of plastics and all the different. And I was like, for goodness sake! So we're like a middle ground, I suppose. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's Bristol like compared to? Because your hometown is it Snellville?
Snellville, Georgia. Yeah.
What's it like compared to back home?
It's a lot of differences. It's just how the houses are set up, like the apartments, just the roads, of course, like the traffic circles. Like I say, it's not many traffic circles. And it's just like, I mean, like the plazas and stuff have like pretty much the same amount of like food places and grocery stores, but I can say the groceries are a lot less expensive here. Like I know the money is different, but it's just a lot cheaper. Like I haven't spent over, I don't think $100 in 100 pounds. Let me correct myself. 100 pounds in one grocery store shopping, and so I just feel it's a lot cheaper.
But that would be normal to spend over 100. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely if I'm getting enough for me for the week. Like I get probably 50 pounds of food for the week, and compared to at home, it's 100 and something.
Wow.
It's
wild.
sick.
Hey, big man's got to eat.
I got to. Me and Owen, we always eat.
oh, you live with Owen, do
Yes,
you?
sir.
Oh,
Yes,
you guys,
sir.
I bet you get through a ton of food.
yeah.
Hey?
all the time.
Who's the chef in the house?
He definitely cooks more. I cook a lot. I just cook the same thing. He cooks a lot of different things. I stick to the same stuff.
Well, what are you cooking?
Eggs and bacon.
We were chatting off air, and you
like
said
that
you
too.
had chicken strips for breakfast
Yeah, I
this
had
morning.
chicken. It's like a whole chicken. I just cut it up into strips and just toast it.
Yeah, you got to get your protein fix, right?
Exactly. Got to.
How do you find the British bacon? Because you tend to have the streaky bacon over there, right? Do you get
Yeah.
streaky here or not?
I don't know. I don't know. I just get the bacon that looks the most similar to me. It's the smoked bacon. I forgot the type, but it's just smoked bacon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And have you had a chance to explore the city just yet? Because there's not been too much time
right.
off for you guys, right?
It has. I've been down to the center and to the docks, but I haven't been too much around. I've been to a few food places. I went to Zaza Bazaar. That was right next to the Ferris wheel, and so just seeing all that. The food at Zaza was decent. It was a buffet, but the food was all right, but it was a buffet, so I ate a lot.
I was going to say, it is one of the all-you-can-eat places. So
Exactly.
the food isn't amazing,
Exactly.
but it is a lot of food.
Unreal amount of food.
It
is
is.
unreal.
It's definitely.
How many plates do you reckon you had?
5. I can use it at the least.
Wow.
Who'd you go there with?
Myself. I just went there one day, just went and
Love
wanted
that.
to see it. Yeah.
You've been to quite a few food places. I think I saw on your Instagram story the other week,
yeah.
you were at LJ Hugs.
LJ Hugs. Shout out LJ Hugs. They hooked us up. We went there and they blessed us with some food, and it was amazing.
Yeah, and I know you've been doing some team meals as well at Pepper Nero
Oh,
and
yeah.
Cow and Sow. And you had a meal at Rax last week, didn't you, as well?
Yes, that was good too. They had these I don't even know what they were, but they were filled with chicken and I put some gravy on them, like breaded. It was like breaded. It was amazing.
Yeah. Well, we love food in the Bristol Flyers
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
This could easily be a food podcast, but it's not. It's a basketball podcast, so please stick with us. Kendall, so talk about the adjustment of being a pro basketball player. Is it much different to what you used to be doing in college?
Well, yeah, it's a lot more because I don't have to go to school, so it's a lot more free time, and it's just a lot more intentional. Like it's I say it's harder. I thought it was gonna be easier, but it's just harder to stay focused. Like with all the free time you have and just making sure you're using that time, using the best of that time, because it could go to waste, but I make the best of it.
Yeah, and you seem to have really settled in to the squad. You've had a couple of big games so far this season. You had 18 and 13 against Surrey, and the big one against Bamberg with 16 points and 7 rebounds, 6 steals as well in that game, and no shortage of highlight plays.
Yes, sir.
You've quickly become known as a highlight machine in your very short time with Bristol Flyers so far.
It's on my shirt. I'm a Flyer. I turned into a Flyer. I gotta be that. I got to.
You're down X amount of points. I don't know how many we're down, and you get the nice breakaway steal. What's going through your head? You're like, I'm gonna windmill.
Yeah, I was just, it was just fired up. You know, I feel like it was the perfect time to do that. Get a little run going for us.
Yeah.
And I think it was perfect time.
I was going to say, because that's a very ballsy play, because if you miss that windmill when you're down 10, you're probably getting subbed out into the bench.
Most definitely. But that wasn't on my mind. I knew I wanted to do something crazier, but I just finished with a windmill.
Yeah.
Coop's got some nice pictures of that windmill as well.
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
he?
it was.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
How are you finding the adjustment of sort of balancing the European schedule alongside the domestic schedule? How are you finding that?
Well, since it's my first year, I don't really like the league, like the difference in the leagues. I haven't really. I'm realizing it now, but I didn't know initially, so I just take every game the same, and I just go into every game just with the same mindset. I know like ENBL, they play a little more physical, a little more touchy, and so that's just like an adjustment I knew going into it. But I can adjust mid-game, so once I do that, I don't really see the difference.
Have you enjoyed the travel to other countries with the ENBL so far?
Absolutely. Traveling anywhere, like coming here, like going around the city is traveling for me. So definitely going the places we went is amazing.
Because you'd never been outside of you'd never been to the UK before you signed, right?
No, I haven't.
To the United Kingdom?
I haven't. I've been to Germany, Spain, and I think forgot the third place, but this was when I was like 14, 15 years old for a little basketball trip, but it wasn't UK.
Yeah. And talk to us about how you've settled in with the group, because I imagine these European away days, it really brings the group closer together, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, we definitely gelling really quick. Everybody's cool. Everybody talks to everybody. It's easy. Everybody, we know we're in the same boat, so we know we're going through the same thing. So we come together closely, and it's good.
Who are your main boys though? Go on.
My main boys, that's what I'm saying. I can't even point out main, but like Damon, of course, that's my guy because we from Georgia. He from Kennesaw, and so it's just kind of like a hometown thing. But that's my guy, and I can say that about. I can say something about everybody that makes him my boy, but that's my boy.
Yeah, it's great how quickly you guys have gelled together as a group, because I imagine for you, coming overseas, you just finished college, going abroad by yourself with literally knowing nobody.
Right.
That can be quite a tough experience for you as a player.
For sure, and it's like I'm a big faith guy. I believe in God, so it's just putting my faith into Him and just trusting Him to take me and take care of me while I'm out here. And it's not hard once like your family is supporting you and you're doing it for a purpose. And it's my dream, and I'm chasing my dream. So this is amazing for me. This is a great experience.
Your family are watching from home?
Oh yeah, they are. Shout out my mom. I know she's gonna be happy to see me on here. Shout out my dad and my sister, everybody.
Yeah, I was going to say we had Leslie Smith on the podcast a few weeks ago, and he actually said that your dad reached out to him. Is that right?
Yes, I didn't know that. I didn't know that before I saw the podcast, but that's something my dad does. He's a very personal guy. He likes to get to know people, and he'll probably reach out to some more people too.
Yeah. Well, our DMs are open if you want to reach out to us on the Bristol Flyers podcast. We love it when people reach out to the Flyers podcast, don't we, Sam?
Yes, we do.
Talk to us about how you've sort of settled into being coached by Andreas Kapoulis, because anyone who meets Coach K will know just how much he eats, sleeps, and breathes Flyers basketball.
Oh yeah, he's dedicated. He just seeing the overtime he puts in for it, and just seeing the attention to detail he has, and he's always busy and he's always thinking about basketball, and just that alone just makes me like wanna like that's easy for me to buy into the system when I see the amount of work he's putting into it. So I know it's meaningful, and I know that he wants the best. He wants to win, and that's what I come here to do is win. So I can easily get behind somebody that I see doing the work.
Yeah, and I know you've obviously only been here for just over a month or so, but of course we celebrating the 20th anniversary of the club this year, and Coach K's been there from the very start. And can you feel the amount of passion he has for this club on a day-to-day basis in practice?
Oh yeah, most definitely. He's turned up every practice, just telling us what we need to do. He's amped up because he knows every practice is a leader to every game, and every game is connected to the practice. So we go into practice like we got to go into the games, and he's hyped up in the games. We know everybody sees him hyped up in the games, and he's just like that in practice too.
Talk to us about what you like to get up to off the court. What are you doing in your spare time?
Right now, I'm not doing much. I want to get into more things, but right now it's just between the game, going to Everlast, and just stretching and reading. I've been reading a lot, reading financial books, reading the Bible, just trying to enrich my mind, because like I don't go a lot of places outside. I don't know many places to go. I'm really like a fishing guy. Back home, I used to fish a lot.
Oh, really?
I want to get into fishing out here, but I just got to get my stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, we need to find if there's anyone who knows. Because we don't know a lot about fishing, do we, Joel?
Well, when I was a kid, I used to grow up in Weymouth. So when I was a kid,
it's the ocean.
We would go like mackerel fishing in like on Chesil Beach. But obviously I haven't gone in years. But if our listeners, by the way, has like any ties to fishing or anything, do get in touch. Please. And reach out to Kendall as well. Please. And take him on a fishing trip.
Please, I would love it.
I've never really been into that fishing, much really. But literally about 3 weeks ago, me and my two brothers went down to Lyme Regis, and we were catching these massive eels, about this long. It was a lot of fun actually. We were trying to catch bass, but there was none around, so ended up with these eels. But yeah, it was good. You gotta do it, man.
Oh yeah, I definitely do. I want to.
Yeah,
I want to.
What about like music and stuff? Are you a big Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Apple Music guy?
Yeah. I'm an Apple Music guy. I'm an Apple Music, SoundCloud, just anything to get any music. Like if I have a favorite art, like my favorite artist right now would have to be Gunna. But I have my I call him my brother. He's not my blood brother, but I grew up with him. He's a rapper too. I've been listening to him right now. His name is Baby Joe. I listen to him all the time. That's the man. That's the man in Atlanta.
You shout him out. What sort of songs should we be listening to by Baby Joe?
It's hip hop. It's for the soul. It's for the soul. You can't get it from nobody else. It's authentic too. That's the real part about it. But his name is just Baby Joe. If anybody wants to go listen to it, try it out. Apple Music. Go tap in.
There we go. What about some of the UK grime scene? Are you getting into UK
I'm
rap?
I'm trying to. Ibuka and some of the other teammates trying to get me onto that, but they listen to more Afro beats, and I like that. That's a better vibe than. I don't really like UK rap like that, but it's just different. So I can't really. I can't really say nothing about it.
Yeah, quite a specific taste, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
You do. Like they don't like. Some people don't like our music here. So I don't like some of the music here. It's just preference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about your game day playlist? Who's on your game day playlist right now?
I need to get hype. So it's probably like Gunna. It's probably Young Thug, Lil Durk, NBA YoungBoy for sure. I just need to get amped up, just get my blood flowing.
Yeah. Well, we should maybe share some of. Well, I guess we're a PG podcast, so nothing too explicit. But maybe we should. I think we should do. We should share some of the players' pre-game playlists.
But the thing is, we try, but a lot of them we can't find clean versions.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. That's why we play the music in the arena, because it's clean.
Right.
One thing I like to do with our guests, especially new guests, when we get them on the podcast for the first time, is we like to run it back and learn more about their growing up, their playing career to date. So we thought it'd be great to sort of pick your brains and learn more about your basketball career. How old were you when you first started playing? Can you remember when you first picked up a ball?
Yeah, I don't remember the age. I was in sixth grade. It's called Gwinnett Basketball League. It was a small league. That was right after I played football. I quit football the year before and started playing basketball.
Yeah.
I played basketball and football at the same time, and then I picked between them.
What position were you in football?
Quarter-
American football, right?
Yes. I wish I played soccer when I played football when I was young. I played American football when I got a little older. I got to get my terms right.
They'll love that.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I was playing football and basketball. I played quarterback in football and quarterback and wide receiver, and it was just, I don't know, the practices were just bad, just running and hitting each other. I had to go to basketball.
Yeah. And then you went to how do I pronounce this? Shiloh
Shiloh
High
Yes, sir.
School
Yes,
in
sir.
Snellville.
Shiloh.
And high school basketball is. We've had guests on the past talk about high school basketball. It's huge out in the States, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's all type of all different regions. Some teams play nationally. Some teams play teams all over the country, and it's just big.
Do you remember the first time you dunked in a game?
I do. I absolutely do. It was in AAU. It was at this older gym, but I got a fast break, and I was trying to dunk every chance I get, like in warm-ups, all of that, and I finally got the breakaway. I tried it before and missed, but this time I was just like, I'm gonna do it. My mom got it on video. She was going crazy. It was a great moment.
How old are you there?
I wasn't young. I was probably like 16, 17.
I'm 33 and I'm still waiting for my first dunk, so it's coming. It's coming.
Were you always tall growing up, or did you have that sort of growth spurt at a certain point?
I definitely had a growth spurt, like from my sophomore year in high school to my junior year. I probably grew 6 inches over the summer, 5 or 6 inches over the summer.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think I might be exaggerating, but it was a major difference.
Yeah. Got some numbers here. 18.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2.1 block shots in your senior year at high school, and the Gwinnett County All-Star Game.
Yes.
What was that like?
Yeah, that was crazy. I went crazy that game. I had 47 points that game.
47.
Yes. They say the stats wasn't right, but it says on the news report Kendall Lewis had 47. So I'm not gonna argue with that.
Hey, you take it.
Exactly.
You take
exactly. But I was killing. Like regardless of what anybody said, I was killing.
Hitting shots, dunking, everything.
Oh yeah, everything. Every type of way they wanted it, I was giving it to them.
What point then did you sort of realize that you wanted or could take the next step into getting a college scholarship?
Yeah, ever since I started playing, just what my dad instilled in me at a young age, just if you want something, you put in the work and you can go get it. So, by watching college basketball growing up and just always wanting to be a part of that, watching NBA basketball, just looking at those guys like heroes and just thinking I could be there one day. And I'm every day I get closer and closer to that goal, and I'm a professional now, and it's my dream.
Yeah.
Who are some of your heroes from that time?
Oh, freaking Lou Will. Lou Will's from Snellville, Georgia too. I never met Lou Will until probably this summer, and I played on his little pro-am team, and it was amazing. Like that was a major achievement in my life.
You played AAU, Atlanta Express. Just like for the listener, we spoke about it before on the podcast, but just explain to the listener what AAU basketball is.
It's like a summer league basketball when you're not playing high school, when school is over and you need something to do. Like over the summer, it's not even something to do. AAU is probably, back then AAU used to be more looked into than high school basketball. Like you'll play the high school season, okay, and then AAU comes, and that's really when you need to turn up, because you got all summer to just work out and play basketball. It's like a little college, because you just focus on basketball and just focus on just hooping, and it's fun hooping.
Are scouts there, or have you already picked your college by that point?
Well, you could play AAU you start AAU young, like you can start at 8 years old, so they can't talk to you yet, but they're looking at you for sure, and they're just, as you go, they just keep looking at you. And I think 10th grade they can start talking to you. The sophomore year they can start talking to you, and then that's when things pick up.
But there are just scouts all the time there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So then you talk about scouts and signing a scholarship. You went to, how do you pronounce it? Appalachian State?
Appalachian State.
Appalachian
Yes,
State. That's actually, Sam, the same college that Doug McLaughlin-Williams went to.
No way. You heard that name before?
I haven't.
No? One of our former players from back in the NBL Div 1 into the early BBL years.
What a man.
Yeah, great guy. I'd love to get him on the podcast for a 20th anniversary edition. Maybe we'll reach out to him at some
Keep
point.
talking about it. He's got to listen one time.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
That's a great name as well, by the way. Appalachian.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the mountain range. It's named after the mountain range.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. So you spend 2 years there. You must have had a lot of offers on the table, right? Coming out of high school. What was it that made you choose?
I wouldn't say a lot, but I had a good amount. Appalachian State, they recruited me at Presbyterian. They were at Presbyterian University. That's where Owen McCormick went. And they got a coaching change. I didn't go with them at Presbyterian. It was a small school, and it was one of my earlier offers, so I was kind of waiting for bigger ones. And then they got the job at Appalachian State, and like they were still hunting me. So I respected they stick with me even when they got a new job, and I really respected that. So I made that decision.
So then what led to the transfer to Illinois State after that?
Yeah,
then?
just some player role disagreements at Appalachian State. Like we weren't on the same page about what role I wanted to be or what role they wanted me to be. So just transferred out, went to Illinois State, had a connection with Coach Rob. His name's Rob Johnson from TSF, the Skills Factory in Georgia, and he got the job at Illinois State that summer. And he talked to the coach, and they wanted me up there, so it kind of worked perfectly. So I went up there.
Yeah, and it worked out. It did work out perfectly for you. You spent 3 years there.
Yes.
How'd you look back on that 3-year spell at Illinois State?
It was definitely a crazy 3 years, because the first year we had the coach I came in with, and then he got fired mid-season, and so we had to go with another coach, and he came in our coach got fired mid-season, so the assistant coaches were coaching the rest of the season, so it was kind of like an ugly season, so everybody was kind of out of it. But the new coach came in, Coach Peden. That's my guy, Ryan Peden. That's my man to this day. And he just his value, hearing his values and hearing what he was coming in with. He came from Ohio State, so he got a lot of connections. He got a lot of good history, and so just he's been coaching at high level basketball. So I really trusted that, and I was looking other places. I was getting money offers going other places, but I put like loyalty and like values over money, of course, and so I stuck with him.
Yeah, and people watch we watch college basketball online, and you're playing in front of thousands and thousands of fans, and it's equivalent of like playing Bucks basketball over here, isn't it, Sam? Like it's the uni level.
But we'd have about 4 people watching us.
We did.
Big numbers, John.
We were playing at UE. Maybe all 5 of them were in attendance. But that experience, it prepares you for the next level, doesn't it? Because it's like a professional program behind the scenes.
Absolutely, it's just like the trainers, how they take care of you, and just the discipline of the schedule. They like here they send you a schedule. They send us a schedule for the week and go through it. That's just how they did in college. So I was kind of prepared for like prepping 2 days, 3 days in advance for the week and just getting ready for the week. And that's a big thing, just being prepared and being ready. I definitely learned that in college, and it definitely transferred over to here.
Yeah. So then you graduate your final year. talk to us about sort of the process that happens next, because did you have your eyes on wanting to turn pro, or was there a certain point in your time at Illinois State where you're like, oh, wait a minute, actually, I could become a professional basketball player here?
No, my whole goal was to become a professional basketball player, no matter how I was going to have to do it, no matter what the route was. And Illinois State set me up pretty well to they got me in touch with some agents and got me some good looks and gave me a good word. But I of course did that for myself, but they blasted it out to everybody, let everybody know like how good I was, and I really appreciate that. And it just benefited me. And like the coach Kapulis, when he called me, he was just talking about my character and how much he appreciated that, and I appreciated that Coach Pete and told them that part about me, and it meant a lot.
I think it's great how the coaches chat like that, isn't
Right.
it? Because I know Coach K, when he recruits players, he reaches out to not only agents, but he reaches out to you guys directly.
Right.
He'll speak to the college coaches,
Right.
just to get a real feeling of what the players are like as a character. And is that something you look for in a player, in a coach, when you're looking at clubs to play for, about the conversations you're having with them? What bits in particular are you looking for in order to make you go, yeah, I want to sign and play here?
For sure, just what they value and like player development. If they want you to be better as a player individually, or they just want you to be better for them and like solely for them, and that it's a business thing. So you gotta take everything. Like if somebody just wants me to come in just to help their team out and not benefit me, and then I understand, but that's just not what I'm looking for. So I respect everything, but I'm looking for just they value you as a player. They want to see you get better, and they willing to do what it takes to get you better and develop you as a player.
It's so good because it's short-sighted not to think like that, because you're now invested, and if they're trying to make you better, not just in the game but like in the whole life, you're going to want to fight for them all year as well, aren't you? So
Exactly.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and it's also about like there's I guess a number of factors. It's not all about like how much you're gonna get paid or how much game time you're gonna get.
Right.
It's everything. I imagine like picking the UK to live in, it's more similar culture to what you're used to in the States. It's a good bedding ground. So when you got the offers on the table, like you're looking at all these offers that you get from your agent and stuff to start your pro career, what was it in particular that made you go, yeah, Bristol, rather than maybe some of the other offers that you received?
Right. Just like I said, the whole thing about coach, and another main, like the language barrier, that's definitely a big thing. Just not having to have a translator with me, just extra added adversities I didn't want to just add to myself, and just the area this was in, and just the experiences I had and the opportunities I can get from here is just it topped everything else.
Well, we have no idea what you're saying, so actually.
Oh man.
But like, yeah, we do know what you're saying.
Yeah, I got you.
Thanks, Joe.
But that must have been quite a special moment that you had to call Coach K, sends the offer through. I imagine it's all done digitally now, where you just get the offer
Right.
through. You got to like sign it on I don't know how it works, sign it on an iPad or something. But that must have been quite a special moment for you. That
was.
moment when you do sign your first pro deal.
And it was crazy because I was actually fishing when he called me, and I was in the woods, and he called me just talking. And my agent said he was going to call me, but he called me a little earlier than I expected. But I was still excited. Like I went to my car. I ran out the woods, went to my car, told my guys I was on the phone with the agent. They was real happy for me. And like after that, later on that night, he sent me the email, and I digitally signed it. Like he said on my phone, just signed one and then just added all the signatures there. But it was amazing.
Wow,
It was
that's amazing. And the
is.
rest is history. And now here
Yes,
you
sir.
are.
Yes, sir. Exactly. I was literally that day I watched the Bristol Flyers podcast, and now I'm on it.
Oh, did you?
It's crazy.
Oh,
I did.
wow.
It's crazy.
Do you know which one you watched?
It was one of the players. I don't remember which player, but it was one of the players.
Wow. The Bristol Flyers podcast going global, eh? Who would have thought?
And on that day, do you remember what size fish you caught as well?
Me, I didn't catch no fish that day. But my boy, he caught a fish probably like this big, a bass. It was a good one.
Nice.
And who knows, we may even have the next crop of Bristol Flyers players watching the podcast right now.
Exactly, we do. They're out there, and you could be here. It's real.
Hey, Joel, that's encouraging. It doesn't mean people look at it and go, I'm put off by that. I don't want to go anywhere near those guys.
They're like, these guys, no, I'm not signing for this team. I am not sitting
Maybe
in the
we've
studio
had
with them.
that. Maybe we've had people go, absolutely not.
I'm like,
See ya.
this is a great offer, but the podcast is rubbish, and I will pass on that deal. Thank you.
Yeah, probably.
Kendall, that was a great chat. We've got to get to our quick fire questions segment with a little bit of a twist, because it's wrong answers only. Now, we had Leslie Smith, did we? Corey Samuels on
Corey
the podcast
Samuels, yeah.
last week. I can't remember how many he actually got wrong or right, but it doesn't really matter. it was all a bit of fun anyway. But basically, we'll run through our quickfire questions we've got for you, and you have to answer with wrong answers only.
Gotcha.
So if I say to you something like, what colour is this table? You could say any other colour you like.
Yellow.
There we go.
Yellow.
Perfect.
Yellow.
So you get the gist. Sam, are you ready for quickfire questions?
Always ready.
Oh, don't get nervous, Kendall. You've got 30 seconds on the clock. It is wrong answers only.
Let's do it.
Your time starts now. What is your name?
Ooh, dang. Daniel.
What basketball team do you play for?
New York Knicks.
What is the best time to have breakfast?
At night.
Is it okay to fart in a lift?
Yes.
What country is Coach Capoulas from?
America.
What is Homer Simpson's favorite catchphrase?
I don't know.
What colour is Kermit the Frog?
Blue.
Name the 3 colours of the British flag.
Yellow, white, and black.
If you weren't a pro basketball player, what would you be doing?
Fishing.
That's the right answer!
We got
We're
him!
not counting that one. We are not counting that one. Also, I can't count what is
know.
Homer Simpson's
Yeah.
favourite catchphrase as well, because that was
True.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7.
7. Not bad.
How many did Corey get?
I think he got more. I think he got like 9 or 10, right?
We'll go back and we'll have a look, and we'll
think
get a little leaderboard up.
I think he got 9. We should make a leaderboard, really. We'll do it on screen.
Fab,
or
producer
something.
Dan, who's not here today, can do that, right?
Yeah, producer Dan. Make a note of this, Dan. Next time when you listen to this podcast back, you're making a leaderboard. Thanks, mate. Great. Well, on that note, it's time for us, Sam, to get to the news.
You're listening to the Bristol Flyers podcast.
Right, time for us to catch up on this week's news, and we've got 2 Flyers games to catch up on. So, Sam, let's start by talking about the SLB Trophy game against Leicester Riders.
Firstly, what a game.
Yeah.
Unreal game. Like, overtime is always exciting. I mean, the tricky thing with this game, I'll be honest, is it would have been good to win, but it didn't really make any difference to the standings, did it? We were already confirmed to come second in the group, and Leicester were already confirmed to win the group. Is that right?
Well, they needed to beat us. We needed to win by 22 points or more, more than 22 points, and they needed to lose to London on the Sunday. I was actually away for this game because I was in Amsterdam for the Steve Devereaux Stag Do Part 2. But I watched the game back on Monday. But Kendall, what did you make of that game as a whole? Because there wasn't really much riding on it, but I guess you guys are playing for pride out there, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We play for pride every game. And just every time we go out there, we want to win it. And it meant something, but, like, statistically it didn't. But that was a tough game. That was a fight. The overtime, we took it to overtime. They started hitting some amazing shots, and you can't really beat that.
Yeah, I bet the atmosphere, obviously I wasn't there, but I bet the atmosphere would have been rocking when Keedy Johnson hit that game-tying too, right?
Oh, yeah, it was amazing. It was clutch, and it was perfectly timed.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the fans have been treated to some really big moments this season already. And we're only like a few games in at home, right?
We've not even started the whole actual league yet.
I know, and they've already got like highlight dunks, putbacks, windmills in transition, game-tying shots to force overtime. Yeah, it's been a real treat. The season ticket holders are getting value for their money this season.
You actually had a pretty nice dunk in that, but it just felt like a standard dunk for you in the end. Do you know what I mean?
Which one was that?
You went baseline.
Oh, yeah, it was a standard dunk. It was just
Which
quick
one was
flush.
that? I don't know.
Quick flush. But, yeah, the fans are the reason the games are that intense because they play a big part in the games. And we can just feel the intensity. And, like, even when we down, we just feel like we got to keep going. And that's what really got us into overtime. It's just us keeping our foot on the pedal.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed this season for this Flyers team this year is you guys really, really feed into the crowd. Like, I often see you or Evan, like, whipping the crowd up after certain plays. We haven't actually seen that like, the fans do that anyway, but we haven't seen them, players in the past, Sam, do that before, have we really?
I mean, what it does is it keeps everyone fired. You guys get fired when they're fired, and the way the other way around. So one thing I've noticed, and we were talking a little bit about this before the pod started, but people do their research on you, and they're too scared to try and block you, man, because you have not yet caught an absolute body.
I haven't. They won't jump, and if they want to keep clearing the lane, then I'm gonna keep doing it until they get in the way, and I'm gonna still do it. So.
Yeah, they're making some smart business decisions at the SGS College Arena this season. Let's run this game back to the start. So I obviously was not at the game. I watched it online, but Sam, fill me in. if I've missed anything. The final score, 101 to 105 in overtime. The result means that Flyers will finish second in the SLB Trophy South Group and take on the North Group leaders, which is Cheshire, in the semi-finals. So, first quarter, Robinson was the go-to guy for Flyers. 12 opening points for Bristol coming from the paint. He's been playing really well recently, hasn't he? Kendall, Damon Robinson, he's becoming one of the go-to guys now.
Oh yeah, he's a dog. He's just hungry every time he's down there, just grabbing a rebound, getting a putback, getting a pass out, and he's smart with his buckets. He know his space. For a big guy, he got nice footwork and nice touch, and it showed he displays it all out there.
Well, it's not just the big man moves as well. Like, he hits mid range a lot, and he's hit a few threes this season already as well, hasn't he? So he's hard to guard at the moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And he's playing with emotion out there, because I know it's been a really tough time for him lately. The passing of his former college coach as well, and I know he dedicated that performance to him after the game. Is that something you guys have spoken about before going into that one?
Well, I didn't really speak to him about it. I didn't want to speak too much about it with him, but I just told him we got him, and we here for him if he need anything. Just let him know that we got him, because it's nothing gonna really ease that pain. That's a tough pain to go through, and you just gotta go through it, and you just gotta face it. And him going out there and be able to do that, that's just a testament to who he is and just how he fights through what it is, and that's real. Yeah,
he certainly has fought through. I mean, we'll get him on the podcast later on this season, but I know he's got some great stories about fighting through adversity that we definitely want to hear from on the podcast this season. Let's take it to the second quarter in this one. Leicester sort of found their touch in the second. Blake Bowman caught fire for them. He came off the bench, and I think it was like 14 points in about 4 minutes or something, right?
Where on earth did he come? I mean, last season he was pretty good, but he is tearing it up right now, isn't he?
Yeah, really stepped up this season.
When you were looking at the sort of the tape on him, were you really watching him, or were you looking at the other guys a little bit?
I was definitely looking more at the other guys, just being cautious of him. Though we knew he was a possible threat, but he did come out real hot, just starting in the lane, getting his finishes, and it was just got himself going early.
Yeah. Well, Leicester scored 32 points in that second quarter. They raced out to that lead. Keedy kept Flyers in the game at the foul line. 51-46 was the score to Leicester at the halfway point. The third was the lowest scoring of the game in regulation. A bit of a slugfest. Johnson and Robinson continued to push Flyers ahead. Jackson would reel them in with a big bucket at the other end. Zach Jackson had a great game out there, didn't he?
Jackson is looking. He was here obviously 2 seasons ago, right? And he's filled out a bit more even, and he's looking good. He's a tough player, isn't he?
He is.
Kendall over here added to his impressive highlight reel this season with that two-handed throwdown that we just spoke about in the third quarter. It was a 1-point game going into the fourth, and then Leicester sort of stretched it out to that double-digit lead with about 3 minutes to go, and then suddenly momentum just shifts on its head in those last few minutes. What was Coach saying to you guys in those timeouts when you're sort of trailing by double figures to rally you guys back into the game?
All right, the main focus he talks about is just staying solid, just staying more solid. We don't have to make a highlight play. We got to just one play to another, just each play at one play at a time, and just it's defense. We just got to get stops. We just got to put stops together, and that's we were able to get enough stops and get enough offense going, and we got back into it.
Yeah, we did get back into it. It was a 19-9 run for Flyers after a timeout. Trey Tennyson, Keedy Johnson nailed clutch threes. I was also mentioning Keedy forced OT with the mid-range 2. And then they missed the 3 to win it on the buzzer, so it went to overtime. And then they went on that run in the extra period, and it was just that one step too far in the end for Flyers. So it means Leicester topped the group. They were unbeaten in the SLB Trophy South group. Keedy Johnson, 25 points, 5 rebounds. Damon Robinson, 21 and 13 for his first pro double-double. 8 of those rebounds on the offensive end, by the way. Really gobbling them up out there. Definitely Flyers basketball.
Love that.
We love the offensive rebounds in Bristol. Evan Walsh, 16 points off the bench. And that's that game wrapped up. We've got to get on to the next game we missed out on. And the next game was Legia Warsaw last night. That was an experience, wasn't it, Sam?
Right, well, if you weren't there, I'm sure you've heard by now, but about 50 fans come in with about sort of 1 minute before the game starts, maybe 5 minutes before the game starts, I don't know, and they start chanting instantly as loud. They're standing in the gangway, they're in the way of everyone. It was loud, wasn't it?
It was, and they didn't stop until the game was over. They didn't stop until they left, because even when the game was over, they were still chanting.
Yeah,
I think the Flyers fans, for me, I think it's really good to see. I think it's a really cool atmosphere and a really cool thing. But I think the Flyers fans were a little bit like, what is going on? This is crazy.
Yeah, I think for us especially, Flyers is like more of a family atmosphere. So something like that, which you see in European basketball all the time, can come across quite surprising or quite a shock. And that was probably the first time at SGS that we have experienced the true European style away travelling in one of these ENBL games. And all of these people, I mean, did you speak to them afterwards? And they were based in Bristol, the Polish contingent?
Yeah, I think that the thing they've got going for them a little bit is that they are a bit like us, a sporting group, but a bit different in that, like, they are literally called the same for their football team and for their basketball team, a bit more like how Barcelona or Real Madrid do it. And I think I think a few of them are obviously the basketball fans, but also football fans as well. And so they've got a bit more of that, like, you know what football fans are like, a bit wild, aren't they?
Bit chanting. And Kendall, was that your first experience of that sort of true European crack? I don't think you really experienced that in Denmark, right?
No, I did not. And the last time I experienced was at the Bristol City game.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. They go crazy at that game, and it was a little bit like that. Just, of course, not as many, but just chanting the whole game and just every time they saying something.
Yeah. So obviously it was that European atmosphere. Did they actually pull the plug out of the speaker?
They pulled the speaker. They're like, I don't want to listen to that long-haired nonsense.
They cut you off, so there was no noise coming from the right side of the arena apart from the noise from the Poland fans.
I also think we got a bit. I didn't think we knew the rules here. We got a bit in trouble. Mike came over early in the first quarter, and in the FIBA rules, we're not allowed to play music during the offenses.
Yeah.
And Mike told me, so we normally at Flyers games it's loud with the music and whatever, but there was no. So we had to get the fans going. But I think it was a little bit like us versus them, the shouting, and they were obviously much louder. So it was a bit of a weird atmosphere, wasn't it?
It was. It was.
Yeah. Well, let's run it back on this one. Opening 3 minutes. Flyers on fire, by the way, to start this game.
That quarter was unreal. So, like, literally unreal, wasn't it?
I don't know about you, Kendall, but I thought like that some of the basketball we were playing in that first quarter was some of the best basketball I think I've seen us play all season.
We were moving. It was smooth. We were finding each other, finding the right shots, and that's us at our best basketball. I feel like we're very hard to beat.
Yeah. There was that one play. I think you passed it around the in and out around the perimeter about 5 times. I think it was an Owen McCormack 3 it ended with. Was that right? Yeah. And it was just so nice.
I forgot who swung it to me, but then I swung it quickly. I seen Evan open, and I watched it on the film, and it looked amazing. It looked like the Spurs.
Yeah, it did. It did. It looked just like them. Trey Tennyson here, step back 3.
Oh yeah.
And then some quick makes to take his tally up to 7 first quarter points. Legia Warsaw centre Matej Vucic got the away fans hyped with a big 2-handed dunk. And Jared Sherfield, the following play with that putback jam. He was so high on that follow, by the way.
He was.
He always had to like grab it and like drop down, if you know what I mean. You know the ones, right?
Absolutely. He was still going up. Of course, it was off of my miss, but I set him up. I set him up perfectly. I seen him coming, so I was like, let me
you did it on purpose, yeah?
Let me miss it a little bit.
Let me just miss this free for you, mate. Don't worry. Flyers, their foot on the gas in the first quarter. Lead was as many as 15 points. Marcin Velunski had it hit at 2 at the end of the period. 24-17 to Flyers at the end of 1.
I don't care what anyone says. That Raf bucket should have counted.
Oh, the Raf bucket on the buzzer.
I thought it did.
So I'll tell you what happened, obviously, because we sit at the table for the broadcast, and they went to the table to look at it, and obviously now we've got the LED strips behind the basket, so that's the first time they used those.
Yeah.
So they watched it back on the video review. The camera angle from the wide looked like that Raf's tip-in had got in on time. However, when they cut to the close-up angle, it looks like he's still got his hand on the ball. So the original call was basket no good, so they didn't have enough evidence. They didn't have enough evidence to overturn the call.
If they'd called it, would they have done the same? If it had called it in, do you think the same thing would have happened?
I think they have the ability to then go and look at it. If it goes in, they can count it, and then they'll be like, oh, wait a minute, let's look at this before.
But what I'm saying is, though, because it was like no evidence, if it had counted in the first instance, they went back and looked to go, we're just going to check to see if it counted, they would have gone, there's not enough evidence, we'll give it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. There's Coach Kapoulis was asking for the video review, but it wasn't one of his challenges, that challenge.
Yeah, that confused me.
Because the referees could look at that anyway. So that Coach was saying, go look at it, but they had the ability to go look at it anyway, so that wasn't actually counted as one of Coach K's challenges, hence why he used his challenge later in the game on a Jared Sherfield, on a potential foul to upgrade a Jared Sherfield foul to an unsportsmanlike. So we go into the second quarter. The game kind of turned on its head, really. I mean, Legia Warsaw went on that run in the second quarter. They were moving the ball around very well. Like I was saying to Gareth, maybe some of the best ball movement I've seen from an away team at SGS.
I agree with you, but what was really annoying is they had so many of those like shots that bobbled in. They hit a 3 that bounced off the top top of the backboard and then back in again, like after it. But do you know what I mean? It was just those little annoying ones as well.
Yeah, Sheffield hit 3 to make it back to a 10-point lead, but Legia Warsaw continued the run, 4 straight buckets, made it a 1-possession game. Damon Robinson hit a much-needed 3 to keep them at bay. Half-time, Flyers are up 40 points to 37, and then the third quarter, and you talk about stop-start games, this quarter lasted 35 minutes in total, with all of the stoppages and starts to the game.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I had to get on a bike. I was on the bench for so long. My legs were getting stiff. I had to get on the bike and warm up.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that referees are trying to keep everyone safe and making the right calls, but man, they went to that the review about 3 times, did they, Joel?
Well, my thing here is this is a very physical game in itself already. If you think about the first quarter, the refs are actually very good with the whistle, keeping the game under control. As the second quarter sort of rolled on into the third, you felt like there weren't as many foul calls being made. So then things like sort of, sometimes you see those professional fouls where they're hip checking you out of bounds or something, or trying to stop the fast break but without committing an unsportsmanlike foul. More and more of those are happening, and tensions are building, and then it goes into the third quarter, and because the refs haven't controlled the game properly, it explodes into tensions. So first of all, you have one where I can't remember them all now. It's like 3 actual trips to the review, wasn't there? One of them was a box out attempt, and Jones, number 12, had some afters with Jared Sherfield.
Was that when he was on the floor with he got elbowed or whatever?
Yeah. One of them was the big ruckus that resulted in the DQ for Matej Vucic, and 3 techs for Flyers. And there was another one as well. It might have been for like an unsportsmanlike foul or something like that. But like
drama.
It was a lot of drama. Sean Jones and Juwan Evans quickly picked up scores, and then there's a huge altercation. It saw Robinson and Owen McCormack pick up tees, and Evan Walsh as well, which I don't really know what Evan Walsh's technical foul was for after looking back at the review, but he picked one up in the end. And then, as you say, Matej Vucic with the double fister. But that's twice we've seen a DQ foul in as many weeks, Sam.
We were just talking about this. I don't remember the last time at a Bristol Flyers game we've had a proper DQ. Like, obviously we've had people get 5 fouls, we've had people get 2 unsportsmanlike or whatever, but Ovi Soko got a straight ejection, and then Vucic last night got the straight ejection. Joel, any ideas when the last straight ejection was? I don't remember it.
Good question, that. I might ask Dan Routledge.
I mean, I know where there was some away from home, and that was in the Plymouth match where...
Oh, yeah, but that's because the benches
exactly
came on the floor.
Yeah, I don't remember from actual play like a double... Yeah, we'll have to get Dan Routledge on this.
Yeah. If any Flyers fans know that, let me know, actually. That'd be a very good trivia question. Right, let's get to the latter parts of the third quarter then. The stop-start nature didn't help either side because momentum was basically null and void at this point. But Andre Pluta was racking up his scoring on his way to Player of the Game honours. He sort of pulled the strings for them. He hit some incredibly tough shots. I remember a big step-back 3 in that fourth quarter on the buzzer as well, right?
That was disgusting. I mean, as a player, that's got to suck, right?
Yeah, it's one of those you just gotta take it and just move. You gotta put your head down because you know the crowd is going crazy. You know everybody going crazy. You gotta focus on the next play. That's tough.
I mean, we've had plays like that as well. So it's just it swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Right.
And then he lobs it up to Krasinski for that alley-oop play as well, which sort of caps off that run. And then I think was it Evans hits like a dagger 3. And then at that point, it's like, okay, the game could be out of reach here. But you guys didn't give up in that fourth quarter. Some of the pressure on defense, like the full court press, and that was paying off. There were a couple of turnovers and stuff, and you got to like a 6-point game at one point as well. So you guys have got the ability, especially on the defensive end. I've noticed that when coach switches it up to that full court pressure, it really does pay off for you guys at times.
For sure. We just got to stay consistent with it. Just stay, like he said, stay solid. Don't try to make the hero play. And like most of those, we were getting deflections and just not fouling, playing without fouling. That's when we do that, we get we cause a lot of problems.
Yeah. Well, the game ran out with a 7-point win for Legia Warsaw. Jared Sherfield, 16 points for the team high, 8 rebounds and 5 steals. Damon Robinson, Kalu over here, and Evan Walsh also in double digits for the Flyers. It means Flyers fall to 0-3 in the ENBL this season. But again, I've said this last time when we played at 0-2. I would say arguably those are the 3 toughest teams that are in our ENBL group right now, right? On paper.
Well, I think they're 3 of the toughest teams in the whole ENBL. Like,
Yeah.
if you look at all of the, not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
our group, like both sides as well.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I think we got a tough group this year. 3 tough losses, but we fight back. We got into Bratislava next week at 6. Oh no, not 6 p.m. 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, into Bratislava next Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. You can watch the game on Flyers TV, or you can get tickets right now over at bristolflyers.co.uk. Don't miss out, because that's going to be a really, really tasty matchup. Of course, this weekend marks the start of the regular season. Flyers travelling down to Sheffield Sharks on Sunday, 4 p.m. tip-off. And obviously, Kendall, I know today is a day off for the players, but I presume preparations will quickly start from tomorrow for that one.
Absolutely, just getting player scout, just getting acclimated with the players and their plays, and coach gonna have us ready. We just gotta come and practice how we're gonna do in the game. Just stay consistent.
Yeah, well, don't forget, you can watch that game 4 p.m. tip-off on DAZN for free at the Cannon Medical Arena. Other news to get to, Sam. Our trophy semi-final dates against Cheshire Phoenix have now been confirmed. Of course, Flyers in the SLB Trophy, they finished with a 3-3 record, which means they took a second-place finish. And that means they will face the North Group leaders, or the North Group winners, Cheshire Phoenix, over 2 legs on aggregate score. And now, aggregate score, Kendall. You ever heard of aggregate score before playing over here?
No, I have not.
Well, you're in for a treat. We hate aggregate score.
We hate it. We get it. We totally understand why they do it, but like because sometimes you're watching it like we're winning, but we're technically losing, or we're losing, but we're technically winning. It makes no sense, man.
Yeah. It does mean that because of the home leg is on the 6th of December, the originally scheduled game against Leicester Riders that was supposed to happen on the 6th of December has been moved, and that game will now take place on Sunday, March 23rd, 5 p.m. tip-off at SGS. Any supporters that had originally purchased a ticket for that game, the tickets will now be valid for the trophy semi-final. So bonus, you get a semi-final instead of getting the Leicester Riders game you originally paid for. However, if you do want your ticket moved to the new Leicester Riders date, you can reach out to supporter services at bristol-sport.co.uk. They will move your tickets to the new date. But lucky you if you got a ticket already, because these tickets, I don't know if I told you, Sam, they'll go like hotcakes.
That's the first time you said it this season, Joel.
I know. I should say that more often. So, yeah, just remember the SLB Trophy semi-final is not part of your season ticket if you've got a season ticket. We're going to be doing priority periods. So the game, you can't buy tickets for the game right now unless you've already bought for the previous Leicester game. Tickets for the home leg against Cheshire Phoenix will go on priority sale to season ticket holders at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, November 5th. The second priority window is for 24-25 members. That starts at 10 a.m. on Thursday, November 7th. And then any remaining tickets that are still there might not be that many left, actually, after that point, but any remaining tickets then go on general sale on Friday, November 8th at 10 a.m. We really, really, really encourage you to secure your place at the earliest opportunity, because if you're a season ticket holder, get them when the season ticket holder window is open, because these games, especially for a semi-final, this game will 100% sell out. So, and we've got small capacity, so we don't want to have you in a situation where we've got nothing left. So, yeah, don't forget also, if you're a season ticket holder, remember, you get £1.50 off your semi-final ticket as one of your benefits for being a Bristol Flyers season ticket holder. And breathe. And now you're up to date with this week's news.
This is the Bristol Flyers podcast.
Boy, that was not a lot of news this week, wasn't it?
Holy moly, it was, but it's okay because we are moving on to the mailbag. We put out on Instagram and other socials this week any questions for Mr. Kalu over here, and many of you have responded. I actually have a question while Joel's getting the questions up. Any ideas? And you can tell me if you're not allowed to say what Demon's celebration was after that 3-pointer.
Yeah, it's a little viral video. He would have to tell you to look it up, but it's a video that he always talk about. That man is hilarious.
Okay, fine. Well, we'll wait to ask him, yeah?
We'll get him on the pod and we'll ask him about it. Tash Puddy on Instagram. Here's a good question. Why do you wear the number 22 jersey?
That's a great question. At Appalachian State, I was number 2. I love the number 2. My Instagram is 2KLou. I love the number 2. But when I came to Illinois State, I had to switch it to 22 because one of the players already had it. And that's just another 2. So it's nothing really deep about it. It's literally just I love 2s, and that's my thing now.
Yeah. Sam, you got the next
Another question for you. V Bunting, Vicky Bunting 88 on Instagram. What piece of advice would you give to your younger self?
Stick with it and don't give up. Keep working and promise you, you're gonna get it. Just stay confident and just stay like you. I don't even know. It's so hard to think about that because looking at me when I was young, I was so different. Just my mind was in such a different place. But I would just tell them to keep going. You'll be fine. You just keep working.
She also asks on Instagram, what's your all-time favorite dunk of your career so far?
All-time favorite dunk. It would have to be just for like sentimental reasons. In high school, my senior night, we played our rival team, and like that game was a lot of text that game, so it was just rowdy, and then the crowd was sold out, and I got a dunk on somebody. I caught a body, and the crowd went crazy. It was crazy. It was my senior night. It just made everything amazing at home.
Was it disgusting?
It was. I took off far, and it wasn't like much body contact, but it was nasty.
I mean, I'm waiting for this season. We've already seen some unreal ones. Last night you had a pretty good one. No one's really talking about. But for me again, I'm like, yeah, standard stock.
This is what I do.
Standard K-Lou.
Yeah.
But the windmill's obviously special. Have you had a windmill before?
No. Oh yeah, one time in the Cayman Islands when we had a Cayman Islands trip in Illinois State against Western Kentucky, I think.
Yeah.
Georgetown?
No.
Where were you? In the Cayman Islands.
Oh, we was at what is it called? Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh, nice.
Hard Rock.
I lived there for 3 months. That's
really?
why. Yeah, it's so weird. Such a random little bit.
It is.
World.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. Actually, it's not on the questions. Are there any other players in the Super League or in the ENBL that you've played against so far that you've previously had encounters with at college or in your previous early career?
Absolutely. James from I forgot his first name, but from
LeBron.
Surrey. I wish.
Mervyn James.
Yes. I played with him in the Pro-Am league.
Marvin James.
Sorry, carry on.
No, I played with him in the Pro-Am league and in summer league, and Raekwon Brown from Surrey as well. I played AAU with him. We played. Who do we play for? This smaller team in Georgia, but I knew him for a while. Some more people.
Did I see on your Instagram you posted a photo with someone from Newcastle Eagles?
Oh yeah, my boy. That's my boy Seneca Knight from. We played at Illinois State for a year together.
Oh wow.
His senior year, yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
I guess it's like quite helpful when you're coming over and you're like, oh, who else is in this league?
Right.
Oh, I know that guy.
Right.
Oh, so you got a rough idea of what the level's like before you get over here, right?
Exactly, and he was killing, last year, and I forgot where he played last year, but he was killing.
Was he playing Valmera Glass? Is it ENBL?
Yeah,
because he was the ENBL's leading scorer
Right.
last season. Yeah.
I seen that, and I know this gonna be a high level because he doing high things and he moving up, and it's good to see him doing that. Shout out to Seneca.
Yeah. Sam, you got the next question?
Next question. Scotty_Fisher on Instagram wants to know, who is your biggest motivation?
Great question. That's my girlfriend, by the way. That's my girl, Scotty.
Where she live back home?
Yeah, she lives in Illinois. My biggest inspiration, and it's a lot of
motivation.
motivation.
Yeah.
motivation.
Who's your biggest motivation?
But yeah, I got a daughter on the way. I got a baby girl on the way.
Oh wow.
Absolutely.
No
Absolutely.
way.
Oh, you get that one quiet.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Yes, I appreciate it. Her name's Kaya Danielle Lewis. That's my biggest inspiration for everything right now. Just
Wow.
trying to set it up for her.
And is Scotty going to come over at some point?
She will. She'll get over here. And it's crazier. She's doing like 3 weeks, and so right now she can't really fly over right now. She probably won't be able to fly over like early while the baby's still young. But well, as soon as we
She's due in
can.
3 weeks.
Yes.
Wow.
And you're going to be here.
23rd.
Wow.
It was the 30th, but she just went to the doctor and found out it's a little bit earlier. So
Wow. That must be like tough as a basketball player to
It
like
is.
be over here in that
is.
whole process.
But that's why my faith is so strong. I just got to keep faith, and everything will be good. Just it'll take care of itself.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing, man. Good
I
to
appreciate
hear.
it. I appreciate it.
Final question I've got here. I don't know if this is another relation to you. S Mother 86.
Absolutely, that's my mom.
Well, this question now makes sense. How often do you call your mother?
Not enough. No matter what answer I say, it's not gonna be enough. I wouldn't say I call her weekly. I might call her like 2 times 1 week, not call her a week. But I do stay in touch. I text her, and we stay in touch. That's I love that lady.
Well, shout out if you're listening to or watching the Bristol Flyers podcast. Hopefully, get them all down here at some point as well.
Yeah, they looking now. They're looking for ways to get down here now.
Yeah, great stuff. Well, I think that's a great place for us to wrap up this week's episode of the Flyers podcast. Kendall, first of all, thank you so much for coming in on your day off. We really appreciate you coming in. Good to catch up with you, and hopefully that our listeners and our viewers have learned more about you after watching this episode or listening to this episode of the pod.
Absolutely.
Sam, great episode in the books.
Always is jolly with you, my man.
Anything else you want to add before we wrap up this week's episode?
No, I think that is a wonderful place to end it, and I just cannot wait for you to body someone. And when you do, you dedicate it to me. Yeah?
Oh yeah, I'm point right at you.
Yeah, point right at us.
If it's at home, I'll point at you. I got you. I'll point at the camera if it's not.
Next week's show, I've got a bit of a plan. It's in my head.
Oh dear.
But it should be quite interesting. Obviously, we're celebrating 20 years of Bristol Flyers. This one is another 20th anniversary special. But we want to get a guest, or maybe two guests, that can take us all the way back to the very start of the club. So watch this space. If I can make this plan happen, it means we're going to have one or maybe even two guests that can tell us about the early formation of Bristol Flyers. So watch this space. Great stuff. Reminder, if you are enjoying the Bristol Flyers podcast, to please give us a rating and a review on your usual podcast provider. If you're watching this show on YouTube, like, comment and subscribe, and share it with a friend as well. If you've got a friend that's new to Flyers basketball or wants to learn more about our sporting stars, then share the podcast with them, and hopefully we can build our little podcast community. But that's going to do it for this week's episode of the show. We'll see you next week on the Bristol Flyers podcast. But until then, from Joel and Sam, but not producer Dan, we'll see you soon on the Bristol Flyers podcast, powered by Matchday Live.